Hockey is one of the most complicated sports in the world, but because of that, it's also one of the easiest. What does this mean? Well, what really separates hockey from any other sport is the fact that you're on the ice. And that makes it really hard to make certain movements, such as moving around on the ice on your skates. So, how do I become good at moving on skates? It's pretty straightforward. Get really good tendon stiffness around your knee, on your ankles. Get strong ankles so they don't wobble, and you have like a straight. Your ankles stay straight with your shins, and they don't bend. Use a lot of power through that. Get good with like isometrics, having a good knee bend, also really good ankle bend. That really helps. Just mixed cardio, a lot of that stuff. Honestly, what I really like about hockey is the creative expression you can have on the ice. So really, whatever personality and interest you have, try to mimic that on the ice. That's my best suggestion for a play style. If you're really creative, then try to get some swagger in. Just constantly try new stuff. Hockey is really limited in what we can do on the ice, so it just gives you more like. It makes it easier to come up with new things to do. That's my tip. All right, now that we have that underway, let's get into the deep end. Now, to become good at hockey, you have to follow a triangle of that I've described it as. On top, there's the mental aspect of the game. There's your ability or skills. Then there's your physical part. And within all three, it is your personality that ultimately dictates where you're going to excel at. Now, every player is different. At every level, you're going to see guys who are able to succeed at a level because of one of these three skills. Like there's going to be like some guys who are athletic freaks. They never get tired. Some guys are insanely smart on the ice. Like they just deceive the hell out of you. And just some guys are just so skilled that you can't catch them, you know? They're just so smart. And it all kind of like winds up to what I was talking about before, like having your personality displayed on the ice, because that's really going to separate you and help you really shape into a player that you want to be. And I think to really become good at hockey, you have to realize what it is that you want to get out of the game, because that's where you are going to get the motivation and the clarity of knowing where you need to improve. Hockey is a really hard game. It's technically incredibly hard. It's mentally incredibly hard. It's physically incredibly hard. Just not even the physical requirements that are hard. It's the injuries that you take on, the pucks that hit you, the slashes you take, the hooks you take. It's having to get over the fear of going headfirst, skidding at high speed towards a board, even though you know that previous times when there's a guy behind you, you've gotten a concussion, you've broken a rib, you've even torn your hip labrum. That's the end of my season, and I had surgery and it took me 6 months to recover. I'm still recovering from that injury. And I'm back to playing hockey, and you have to be able to like really overcome your fears, and you have to learn to like shut off your brain. That's like a really big part of hockey. Is like that's why I think it's important to be able to show your personality, because once you're able to show your personality on the ice, it's easier to really shut off your brain, because you can't think in hockey. Everything moves too fast for you to be able to really think. That relates to a different point that I really want to mention, is how you train. What really separates you from the really good players and what's going to make you really good is how you train and how you get good. So going back to what I talked about having like limited amount of like brain power you can use at a time because you just don't have time to think. Your brain, like you need to like constantly know everything that's happening on ice, especially when you have the puck. So what does that mean? It means that when you do have the puck, you need to be able to take up the least amount of cognitive load on your brain of your movements and your actions, so that you can better focus on making a good play and evading the puck or evading the other players, retaining the puck, and ultimately trying to score. How do you do that? repetition, practice, and just getting it all down to muscle memory and having those skills down to a point where you don't even need to think about it. And the more you do a drill, the less cognitive load it's going to be on your brain, because you're going to make those neural pathways more efficient, smoother. So it's going to require less effort. So what does this mean? It means you're going to have to do a lot of game specific drills a lot of times, just over and over and over again. And it's going to help you. That's what helped me. That's why I can't really even call myself that good, but it's how I even got to this level I am. Like, I used to be not good, but then my evolution as a hockey player, it goes like boom, boom. And all those quick surges of exponential growth has been because there have been parts in my life, especially the spring of 2023, where I really did one thing a lot, and that was just practice hockey. And I really got that boom because I was able to really lessen the cognitive load. And that was the biggest issue I had. It was my first year playing AAA, and my beam was just fucked up. Sorry for swearing, but like I was just so nervous all the time. I'm definitely an overthinker, and it just translated on there. I thought too much, and I made a lot of bad plays. I wasn't able to really grasp the essence of hockey. That is to really play a pure game of competing, of wanting to best the other team and playing with your teammates. And that's where it really is. It's about having fun, being able to move around, playing a tactically sound game, and also displaying your physical prowess and your skills. And I think one of the purest forms of that is being able to just play outdoor hockey, playing stick and puck skates, shinnies, whatever you call it, free skates, but just even like pond hockey, playing with your friends at those types of events, you're really able to cultivate this essence of hockey, because you're just trying to play for the sake of playing. You're playing a very pure game, not trying to play through your coach's system. It's all for the sake of playing and winning, competing. And that's what hockey is about, not trying to play according to your coach's systems or trying to satisfy a girlfriend or your expectations upon you. I think that's ultimately like the key of it. And once you realize this, it's gonna help you a lot. Once you're able to actually put this into practice, you're gonna explode. That's mainly what I want to get into. Hockey, it's a hard game. You have to figure out what works for you. Like, I haven't gone in anything like too specific here, because as my math teacher told me last year when I was learning calculus, everyone's different in their learning process. Just asking the smartest kid in the class, oh, how do you learn, how do you get good grades, like, it's not going to help you. You have to figure out what works for you, and that's why I'm giving you a very broad information, but also it's very generic, because you're going to have to learn how to apply this base and for you to fit yourself into it and build on top of it. I'm probably going to show how I've built on top of it as a reference point for others in a future video. And I think it's going to be very interesting for some people. But I think this is good enough for now.